Welcome to Life on the Wabash, your home for the lighter, brighter, happier side of your community. We'll cover places to go, events to explore, recipes to try, and information that makes your life easier or more fun. Let's dive in. Good morning and welcome to Life on the Wabash. I'm Lindsay Varamis.
And I'm Lainey Rapp. Before we get rolling, we want to introduce to you the show and what you'll find here. You can think of this as a gateway to explore your community in a new way, to learn, to discover, and to share.
Yes, through this local storytelling project, we're highlighting the bright spots, fun facts, new businesses, upcoming events, fascinating history. We want to tell the happy stories you don't always get to see on local TV. It's also an educational effort, helping to train the next generation of creatives. Boilermakers like Lainey are contributing to the work you'll see here. You will see more of them in our future episodes, but for now, consider this your invitation to connect.
Your voice will help drive this show, so please reach out if you have an idea. Now, let's get to it.
Sometimes you just have to kick back and relax. We're at the Spa, a brand new facility at the Union Club Hotel, and we're starting in the relaxation room because that's a huge part of the experience. When you check in, you get valet parking, a plush embroidered robe, mimosas if you choose to. So there's so much to explore here. I'm sure you want to see the rest of the facility. So we're going to check in with Kelly Gasho, the spa supervisor. She's also an esthetician. So Kelly, tell us a little bit about what people can expect at the spa.
Well, like you said, it's a full experience from check-in to check-out. Many people come in, they like to enjoy the relaxation room before their treatments, long after their treatments. We have Therabody smart technology, which are the compression boots.
When you step in, it feels very luxurious. I'm curious about why bring this here? Why did we need it in Greater Lafayette?
They are really pushing for the hotel to become a luxury-driven, legacy of wellness type of environment. And so bringing this here, we have a lot of great places in town. I don't believe we have anything like this, where you're treated and pampered the way that you are. So I really think it's exciting for the hotel, it's exciting for the students.
Well, we certainly should talk about this space, Polished at Purdue.
It's a full-service nail salon offering pedicures, manicures, from gel to dip to just regular nail polish. We also have a club that's going to be available, a membership.
I can see how that would be appealing to get that polish done. We do need to move on though. There's so much to see. Let's talk about facials next. 10 different options?
Yes, we do. And one of the ones that we will be introducing very soon is the Amelia. So this is a full body from head to toe experience. So not only are you getting a full body exfoliation, you'll be getting a mini facial, scalp massage, neck, shoulder, décolleté massage. It really is kind of following her travels as she started from Morocco all the way through India.
Wow.
Yeah, every month or 6 weeks or so, we'll have a different scent that kind of accompanies that facial. So it's very customizable, and I think it's going to be very popular.
Well, speaking of the guest experience, we're going to pop in here and see what a hydrofacial is all about. So we have Diana Zulli. She's a communications professor here. Normally we wouldn't interrupt such a relaxing experience, but we got to ask you, what has it been like so far?
Incredible. So relaxing, so professional, really great.
Definitely something to check out here. So if people are curious about the spa, Kelly, why don't you let us know what's the best place for you to book an appointment or find more information?
Best place to book is to go to our website. It's the spa at the Union Club Hotel. You can call and someone can give information if possible. And then if anyone wants to pop in, they will be escorted up. We do tours all of the time and love to show the space. We're very proud of it, excited to work here. They've done a beautiful job, so.
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. To say interest in pickleball is on the upswing might be a bit of an understatement. It's the fastest growing sport in America, with numbers so explosive they make your head bounce along with the ball. Participation is up 223% in the last 3 years. 13.6 million people played pickleball last year, and 2024 looks to outpace that. Here's another interesting element. While the initial spike started with retirees during the pandemic, players 18 to 34 are now driving the growth. There's something sticky about pickleball
I played it once and I got hooked.
that goes much deeper than sport.
The courts really provide some community unity.
I have 92 names in my phone now, and I never knew these people before pickleball.
Those who grab a paddle seem to bond with every bounce. Jim Kazmarek is a pickleball coach and member of the Lafayette, Indiana Pickleball Association. He calls the mix of ping pong, badminton, and tennis addictive.
It's a very social game. People are making new friends. It's great physical activity.
It's also approachable and inexpensive. Julie Voice started playing with friends, then looped her husband
They
in.
were all older women, empty nesters. All of our kids are out of the house. And to me, it's not as much running as tennis and volleyball and softball and all the other sports we played a long time ago.
I'm noticing families coming to me now. The youngest player I've had was 8 years old.
In fact, local schools like St. Lawrence and St. Mary's teach pickleball in gym class.
So now the kids go, oh, I want to play, and they have all that energy. So let them burn that energy playing a really great game.
The city of Lafayette hopes to ensure this booming sport has space to meet demand. Enter the McCall Park Improvement Project. Lafayette Park Superintendent Claudine Loffman says work there will more than double existing courts from 12 to 26.
We certainly expect to see a lot more pickleball players. Some people have come out here and just hung on the construction fence, just wanting to see what's going on.
When the city initially converted the McCaw courts from tennis to pickleball, Lafayette had the most courts in the state.
It's been just an absolute success.
She expects the near $2.8 million project will help the city regain that title. Improvements also include a connecting trail system, new parking lot and lights, and batting cage.
It's possible they may open yet this winter for some nice days of play, but it's also possible that we may encounter some weather delays and maybe we won't be able to open them until early spring.
Meanwhile, pickleball players and the pickleball curious can find a court to play on the Pickleball Association's website.
Go out and watch the game, because if you watch the game, more than likely people will invite you to just pickle back and forth a little bit, and then you start learning the rules.
Whether you're looking for friendly competition
Players get faster and they get smarter.
or fierce, they hope you give this trending sport a shot. The McCall Park renovation project comes on the heels of another major effort, this one at Columbian Park. The renovated SIA playground opened in mid-June. It includes 3 climbing towers more than 24 feet tall, a rope venture climber, and 6 slides, among other things. Loffman says the zoo at Columbian Park will remain open until early October, so there's still plenty of time to get out and play.
Before we dive into something tasty, a quick reminder, it's peak season for the area's farmers markets. You can check out the downtown Lafayette Farmers Market today until 12:30. It runs through October. The Produce Farmers Market is Thursdays. Also until October, hours are 11 to 3 p.m. Finally, you can score fresh produce at the West Lafayette Farmers Market in Cumberland Park. That's on Wednesdays from 3:30 to 8 p.m.
We all want things simple and easy in the kitchen, so today we're learning how to elevate the humble zucchini. I'm Valtisa Vasili of These Delicacies here in the kitchen. Tell us what we're making.
Yes, so today we'll be making zucchini crostini, which is a very wonderful bite to have for any party, especially for a family gathering or a beautiful backyard party. It uses fresh, simple ingredients. Most of them can be found at local farmers market. I know that there are quite a few vendors there, especially farmers or the artisan bread makers. So this dish is a tribute to them. It's a different take on your regular bruschetta. It's not your tomato and basil, but people are so stuck with just 1 or 2 recipes. So I want to introduce or bring to people different flavors or different takes on humble ingredients.
Yeah, I would imagine fresh, healthy, and easy.
Easy to make, very easy to make. Few ingredients, it's healthy as well, and especially in the summer and fall season when all the ingredients are readily available.
All right, let's dive in. What's the first step?
So we'll be sourcing the ingredients, of course. A nice baguette would work just fine. Sourdough bread is also a very good choice. We will also shred the zucchini. 2-3 medium-sized zucchini would be perfect, and then we will also mince the shallots as well. We'll mix them together, and after we cook them in good butter, we will spread them on top of the zucchini and also some shredded Parmesan Reggiano cheese. And for the ones that would like to elevate it a little bit, a few red pepper flakes it gives a whole
little bit
dimension.
of a kick. Yeah. You mentioned good butter. I have to ask, what makes good butter?
Good butter would be something that is either pasture grown or Irish butter. Works also very well because it has the good taste. Same with the olive oil. Just look for the extra virgin olive oil every time you cook.
Perfect.
You'll get the full flavor if you use the best ingredients.
Now that we've created something so beautiful, we have to taste it.
Absolutely, yes.
I imagine it's a crowd pleaser. It's got that sweetness you were talking about. So delicious, crunchy. Shouldn't talk with food in my mouth, but you'll enjoy this recipe. Before we go, tell us a little bit about your approach to cooking with these delicacies.
So our food trend is Mediterranean. Mostly we are from that part of the world. And we bring fresh recipes. Our approach is toward healthy and clean eating. Of course, you can find us on website. Our address is thesedelicacies.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook and on Bell Farmers Market in West Lafayette and Purdue every Wednesday and Thursday.
And you can see that right here on your screen. We will, of course, share the full recipe on our YouTube channel. Time now to introduce you to someone who will be a regular face on the show. This is Elise Daniel of The Happy Hours. She's an expert on all things local. Tell us a little bit about your account, how it got started and why.
I love everything about Lafayette, Indiana. I love all of the local businesses and events and the people and the stories. And I wanted a way to share that. Instagram at the time was the place to do it. I didn't have a lot of followers. It was mainly my mom and maybe a few friends. And then it kind of just grew naturally, businesses reaching out for me to come visit. And it's just been a lot of fun getting to know even more places I didn't know about and sharing about them.
And if you want to know what's happening in town, you're going to find it on her account, which is why she's going to come and talk to us regularly, which brings us to today. We tasked her with finding 5 hot spots right around the courthouse that you can enjoy. So tell us about where we're headed first.
Okay, first we're gonna go to Something Sweet Candy Shop. The reason I love coming in here is because they have a wide range of candy that you get to pick yourself, and they also feature TikTok trend candies. So they are constantly bringing in new candies that you can find on TikTok. I love coming to Digby's Pub and Patio because they have lunch and dinner specials, are family friendly, and an amazing patio. Main Street Books is a great little cozy bookstore in downtown Lafayette that has a ton of new and used books for sale. You can also shop them online. They occasionally have events, and if you're looking for a great children's section, they have it. Bistro 501 is one of my favorite downtown restaurants because it is family owned and they are truly passionate about the food that they serve and bring to your table. The menu changes seasonally, it's French themed inspired, and you're gonna have a gorgeous experience when you come in here. Civic Theater of Greater Lafayette is one of the oldest active theaters in Indiana, and you can get involved. You can audition for plays, volunteer, and even take classes at Civic.
You can probably already tell that Elise is a huge cheerleader for her local community and the businesses here. So why don't we dive into a few things that people can take advantage of that are coming up, including today we have German Fest at St. Boniface.
Yes, it's right in the heart of downtown on Ferry and 9th Street. There is food, fun, live music, beer, and activities for all ages.
I've heard a lot of good things about the chocolate pie.
Yes, I still have not tried the chocolate pie, but I definitely need to get my hands on some.
And it does good things for the community. It's a fundraiser, helps with historic preservation of the church as well as their ministries. So you can see, look at all those people. Fun to check out if you can get down to it. So moving on, we have a whole week of activities connected to the Purdue Memorial Union. What's happening with that?
Yes. 100 years. So September 9th marks 100 years, and the Purdue Memorial Union has been a cornerstone, a staple. Whether you've been a student, you're alumni, you just like to visit campus, a Purdue fan, it's just a place where people go. And so they're going to pack the Union on Monday, live music, food, entertainment, lots of fun, and then also they're going to open the time capsule.
Yeah, way back from 1924.
Oh my goodness, yes. I can't even imagine what's in there.
And installing a new one. So yes, lots of things going on. You can check out the Purdue Memorial Union website for more information on that. And then finally, fall brings so many fun activities. Exploration Acre is always a hotspot in our community. What is new starting on the 13th?
Exploration Acres, obviously they're opening, but they have their corn maze. It's always a staple. It's 20 acres, it's 10 paths, there are 4 mazes, and it's medieval themed.
And I know you have kiddos at home. Do they enjoy this?
Oh, they love it. We all love it. There's something for all ages. Pumpkin patch, there's activities, there's food. You can rent campfires there. Just go to their website. All the information and details are there. There's a ton that is offered for all ages.
Okay, we're inspired to get going. Thank you so much, Elise. We'll see you right back here next time. We'll see you next time. It's time to start thinking about childhood development and creativity in specific. We're here with Amanda Kennedy, the owner of Flourish Art Studio. So let's talk big picture. Why is this an important conversation to have?
Sure. Well, big picture is that creativity is a part of what makes us human. It's a humanity. And in that degree, it makes it very necessary. We need to be able to express ourselves in some way, whether that's through writing or reading or drawing or painting or making a recipe or gardening. I mean, there are so many ways to be creative, endless opportunities, and establishing that in our young children and young adults so that they can continue to practice that as they become older, and having a source and outlet is really important for all of us.
Is there anything we can do to foster it and to make it easier?
I get this question all the time, and I love it because it shows me that parents are interested and engaged. They want to know how to help their children become more creative, and they're open to ideas. Part of that is why this space exists, but aside from art studios or public places to take them, just giving kids the opportunity to touch materials is so important, whether that's Play-Doh or slime for some parents. Easier said than done. Yeah, absolutely. Paint, markers, crayons, clay, just giving them the experience of what does this do and how can I manipulate it without that interference from adults saying, do it this way, follow my lead, and just having the freedom to explore the medium is such an important tool.
Many parents can get a little nervous about the mess factor. Do you have any tips on how we can deal with it or maybe even overcome those thoughts?
It's a big deal and it's really hard, especially in your own home. I often joke that in this space, it's so easy for me to say, make a mess, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's very much a yes space for messes here. So that's another option. Take them somewhere else. Take it outside. Take them to an art studio. Take them, get it out of your house. In my own home, I'm much more like, keep the mess in this contained space. Mm-hmm. Here are the parameters. I often find myself setting out a cookie sheet. My daughter right now has a 3D pen on a cookie sheet on our kitchen table, and it's like any mess you make, anything you create with this 3D pen has to stay on this cookie sheet. Mm-hmm. Because, and for them, it gives them the freedom to explore it. She's making whatever she wants with that 3D pen, but it's in this space, within this boundary. And that's a really healthy way to learn, like, I can do things, but in this parameter, with these guidelines and these expectations. And that benefits us in a multitude of ways outside of art even.
Absolutely. Another thing that comes up with artwork is once they're at school, a lot of art comes home and we love it. But there's a lot.
There's a lot, and it's all so good, and it's all their favorites, and you want to keep it all. There are options. You can store it, of course, in portfolios or binders, storage totes. You can also use like digital platforms where they have apps. You could take a photograph of it and print it in like a little photo album book, and you've got this nice, neat little book. And you can also give yourself permission to throw it away, and you don't have to keep all of it, and it's okay to get rid of some of it.
Okay, we're ready to get artistic. Of course, if you're curious about Flourish Art Studio, it is on Main Street, easy to find, right downtown. Thanks, Miranda.
Thank you so much, Lindsay.
It is always fun learning a little bit more about your community. And so today we tasked Claire Eagle, the Executive Director of the Tippecanoe County Historical Association, with finding 4 Did You Know fun facts about our community. So why don't we dive right in? Number 1.
Number 1, Tippecanoe Battlefield is pretty well known in the history of the War of 1812. But what's really fascinating is that the beautiful fence that is surrounding the battlefield is actually written into the Indiana Constitution. The legislature revised the Constitution to include an article that said it should be the duty of the state to provide the protection of the battlefield, and that included a fence. So they put it out for bid, and a local Lafayette man won that bid in 1873. And the fence was built, and what's pretty cool about the fence is that the man, Thomas Harding, actually has some patents for the way that the fence was designed, which is kind of, yeah, another interesting fun fact to add to that. But what's really fun to learn about is that the final cost of the fence actually came in under budget, which does not happen nowadays.
It sure doesn't. We need to take a page from history and continue that.
Exactly.
Okay, moving on to number 2.
Number 2. So in 1978, Kermit the Frog was actually named an honorary member of the Lafayette Police Department.
Okay, you have to tell us why, how.
Yes, so there was a local officer who was working with Lafayette schools to create a mascot for an upcoming safety campaign. Well, they kind of landed on a frog inspired by Kermit called Safety Seymour. And when the Muppets heard about this, they were so excited, and Kermit the Frog acknowledged Seymour as his cousin. And not only that, but the Lafayette Police Department sent Kermit a badge and a hat, and Kermit sent back a picture in his badge and hat. So an honorary member for life.
This is going to be great fodder around the water cooler to talk about the Kermit connection. All right, moving on to number 3.
So in the early 50s, Operation Skywatch was initiated, led by the United States Air Force. And what it was is observation towers were built throughout kind of rural America. And the goal of these observation towers were that people would do shifts on them and watch the sky for enemy planes in hopes to protect the United States. But the first observation tower and the first commissioned post was actually right here in Cairo in Tippecanoe County.
And finally, number 4.
Number 4. So just as we have festivals and such downtown to bring business in and customers in to our wonderful downtown, they did the same thing in the late 1800s. They had a man who was kind of a well-known stuntman of the time come in and walk 500 miles around the Tippecanoe County Courthouse. It took him 2,000 laps to make that distance, and he only slept about 90 minutes a night throughout his entire time and just wore shorts and a t-shirt and walked his 2,000 laps.
I'm just trying to picture people that just happen upon that, what it would look like.
I'm sure, I mean, this was, in the late 1800s, so there was no social media, so I'm sure people were a little shocked when they came up and this man was just walking laps around the courthouse.
Okay, well, thank you, Claire. We appreciate you. If you enjoy these tidbits and historical facts, we have a list of upcoming historical association events right here on your screen. Be sure to check them out. Today marks the end of Workplace Lactation Week, an awareness effort that aligns with Labor Day. It celebrates the contributions of nursing mothers and parents, highlights the vital role working and pumping parents play in the workforce, and advocates for policies that support them. It comes on the heels of National Breastfeeding Month, which makes this a great time for conversation. Joining us to dive deeper into that topic, we have Ashley and Becky, both registered nurses of 52 Beams with more than 30 years of experience between them. Let's explain why this month exists in the first place. Why is it so important to try to build that culture of support?
For so many years, breastfeeding has had such a negative stigma attached to it. People who, think that breastfeeding is inappropriate or who think breastfeeding is off-putting, especially when breastfeeding in public. But we have to remember that our bodies are designed to feed our babies. And I think it's also important to help women feel empowered and confident and comfortable.
We see different ethnic backgrounds all the time, and so they might have different points of view on
on breastfeeding and what it means to them. And we just like to embrace whatever that journey means for that mom. We want to be there to support you.
You mentioned confident and comfortable, two things that if I go back in time, I don't think I was either of them. So for the woman who is in that phase and it's not feeling natural or easy, what do they need to know?
People think that it's like rainbows and unicorns because it's natural. So we love to tell people just because it's natural doesn't mean it's easy. It's definitely an art you both have to learn, and with mom and baby there comes a lot of education. We like to tell people too that just because you took classes and you watched videos doesn't mean baby did.
But that's where we come in to help these moms to go through the different stages of breastfeeding with them, especially right at the very beginning. So many of our patients will tell us that they didn't realize that breastfeeding was going to be this hard, you know, and when you have your support system, your friends and your family telling you how natural and easy breastfeeding is, and we all know that it's not like that typically.
We should address kind of the elephant in the room right now. A lot of people are going to social media for medical advice, the comparison game. What should moms know?
Dr. Google is not the answer. I would say learn from the people who have the education. You know, your doctors went to school for a long time. Nurses went to school for a long time. And we learn these things so that we can educate our patient. And everybody who does our job and in the medical field, we all have a desire to help people, but we have the education to back what we're saying. Anybody on social media can say anything they want to and you can believe them, right? And so getting on there and saying what you think is right may not be the right thing for everybody because it's not evidence-based.
When you're watching TikTok and you're seeing that this mom is maybe pumping gallons of breast milk a day, and here you are only pumping a few ounces, that can be very difficult for, especially for a new mom going through that postpartum phase. And so as registered nurses, we would encourage our patients to stay off of social media.
Let's talk a little bit about your approach to postpartum care, because 52 Beams does things a little bit differently.
So for postpartum care, we come into your home and meet you where you are.
In their own environment, on their own couch, in their own bed, in their nursery where they're going to nurse their baby, wherever they're going to be most of the time. They don't have to bring their baby out because, you know, when you're a new mom, you feel like you have to bring everything but the kitchen sink with you now.
Yes.
But you don't have to bring all that stuff to a cold office that's not conducive to specifically to you. And you might be in a setting of 5 other people, 10 other people in the room with you. I've been told time and time again, like how much they love and appreciate that we can come to them, especially if they live, you know, an hour away from the hospital setting. Who wants to drive an hour with a hungry baby to feed them when they get there, you know? And so we love going into people's homes and we feel like we're just meeting new friends, honestly.
All right. If you want to learn more about Ashley and Becky and their services, the website is right here on the screen. Where else can people find you?
We love to get social, so we're all over social media. You can find us there, but our website is great and they can book an appointment straight through our website. People can always reach out to us.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
If you have a story or idea you'd like to see in our next episode of Life on the Wabash, send us an email. Connect with us on Instagram or subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We have even more content there, and we are always eager to hear from you. Now, here's a look at our upcoming episodes. Until then, we encourage you to explore more and have a happy Saturday.
Brought to you in partnership with Purdue University Brian Lamb School of Communication and NBC 16 Lafayette, a Star City TV station.